Set 2 will be played on Fighting Spirit. Spawning in the bottom left-hand position, currently with 1 win, the blue Protoss from STX Seoul. His name is Trap.
Right, his opponent from Kespa Teammate spawns as orange Protoss on the right bottom position of the map. His name is Argo.
Indeed it is.
The score right now is 1-0 between STX Seoul and Kespa Teammate, and as you saw earlier, Ty got his 100 victories recently in Pro League. Currently sits on 109 wins, but they did have the ceremony over at OGN.
Yeah, did. So congratulations to Ty getting those 100 wins.
Now Argo in 2013, he is 17 and 18, including Kespa matches and WCS matches. Against Protoss, he is 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Sorry, just spoke a little too quick over there.
Okay, so, you know, we got another PvP on our hands here. There's Innovation, GSL finalist. And we've seen a lot of different PvP today, and we've seen a lot of different styles. Any predictions, or what do you think is going to happen on this map?
I'm not too sure. I believe Argo was the one who liked to go for the Blink Stalkers, but it's been a while since we saw him. So I don't know what kind of PvP he wants to play today, and same can be said for Trap.
Well, based on that last game, I know what kind of game Trap wants to play.
Well, he could try to play a little bit more aggressive against his opponent, given that he can't go for the proxy, but he'll solidify himself as a great player if he can win a long macro game against his opponent, because now that's a scary Protoss player. You know, a scary player is someone who plays more than one style.
Or has a mean face.
That's it. Or someone who's intimidating a little bit, like Argo.
Argo's very intimidating in person.
Like, he actually saw Argo in real life. He's like, oh god.
Dude, Argo's got an aura to him, man. Like, yeah. I'm not joking about this.
I mean, I was like having like a little conversation with him, asking him questions. Do we call you Argo or Jaehoon? And Whiplash over here was next to me. He's like, oh god, God, this guy is really intimidating. Didn't realize this while I was looking through the stream. Now it seems like Trap is gonna scout around the map in the wrong direction, but you know, it always happens on a 4-player map.
Yeah, it's part of life. Sometimes you scout the wrong base.
Now, interesting enough, both players are going for 1 gateway right now.
I think we're going to see a fast expand from both of these guys here.
In fact, Trap throwing down the expansion right away, and Argo going for a little bit safer build, going for the Mothership Core and then the Nexus.
Really interesting. Now, the builds are pretty much the same here. The only difference is when the Mothership Core started being built, so it looks like Trap will get the better end of the stick here. And let's talk a little bit about why they would go for such a risky build on a map like this.
Yes. Well, if you think about it, it's a 4-player map. You don't know where your opponent is going to spawn. And even if it's like, you know, non-cross positions, it's still close.
Yeah.
It's not close. It's far away between the 2 bases.
Exactly. So you got to think about that.
That was
logic.
my bad. That was my bad. And you also have to realize that the chokes at each bases are small compared to the other maps out there. So this works fine on this particular map as long as your opponent does not go for some cheesy play or heavily aggressive play. Note that it has to be a heavy aggression.
Scout the Nexus. Oh, no, it did not.
So close, but given the positioning of the Stalker and the Mothership Core, he might have some idea.
Yeah, he probably is thinking to himself right now, all right, well, those units are out there for a reason. He probably made an expansion. Argo now making a proxy pylon here. We have 2 additional gateways going up for each player. Argo looking to be the aggressor, though. He's been building mainly Stalkers, getting a robotics behind this, and he's going to have to send the Stalker away. The reinforcement line is a lot closer.
Yeah.
For Trap.
Well, think about this. If Argo has some idea what his opponent is doing, that he wants to fake the aggression right now, putting down the 4 pylon and getting a lot of Stalkers out, and just showing and making it look like he's playing an aggressive game, especially after the probe was sniped. So trying to leave Trap in the dark, but he's going to hallucinate an Oracle to scout around his opponent's main base.
Oh, I like this. This is really cool by him, because Trap's actually going for the Twilight Tech, but Argo, he's got a lot of Stalkers going for that aggression, like I mentioned earlier here, and he's going to be able to snipe off a few workers potentially. This is going to work out pretty well for Argo and give him a nice lead early on in the game.
Yeah, up to 4 probes have been killed. Once one of the Stalkers does not get taken out, as Argo just exits the building.
Yeah, he did exit the building. All right, we have an observer on the way for Argo here. So he's playing this really safe. I like that.
Yes.
He's playing safe, throwing a little aggression in here and there, but not overcommitting. That's nice. They're waving to the camera. Hello. And
now, Argo does have a little probe lead right now, but you know it doesn't really matter if the game gets dragged on too long. So it wasn't a devastating loss for Trap, but just a loss that he shouldn't, that he could have prevented if he squeezed some units out.
No. He's got a lot of units now, though. He's got a good sentry count. He's going to have a lot of stalkers up here, and he made the Twilight Council, but he's not researching anything here. And uh-oh, that's a lot of stalkers from Argo. Good force fields go down, trapping a few of these stalkers in the back, but the numbers may be simply overpowering for Argo here. Is going to be able to take out a lot of units, and this is going to force Trap back. With the Mothership Core being added to Argo's army here, he could potentially just win the game.
I'm not too sure why he doesn't have that many units right now. Time will going down on both of the army, but simply Argo has more than his opponent at this point.
Yep. And Trap in his base now, it seems here. The Stalkers need to be controlled properly here. They need to take out that Mothership Core. Mothership Core goes down. Additional Stalker reinforcements coming in from Argo. And he is looking like they're in a really good position, potentially going to take this game. But can Trap make enough Stalkers to hold off the aggression from Argo?
Yeah, and Trap is just doing a nice job trying to micro as much as possible, and with the Stalkers warping in, he needs to get out of there.
Well, looks like Argo, he's adding in a few more units here. Chrono's going down on the gateways. That's when you know things are getting desperate. And, you know, also Argo, he's got a better economy now as well because he's mining from main and natural.
Think about this. He does have the better economy, as in he can mine from 2 places at once, but the probe count is the same.
Right,
Argo caught a lot of probes to make this work, and is maybe working out, but Trap is just warping in a lot of units, and his micro has been solid throughout the whole engagement. In fact, he's going to hold this attack.
Yeah, it looks like it. Nice defense from Trap here. Argo, he really was aggressive. He wanted to push forward and take the game here, but looks like he's going to have to wait a little bit longer.
So Argo did kill up to 14 probes, but he didn't probe up behind this. He wanted to use the aggression to finish the game as early as possible. And now both players are, you know, slightly even. Yes, Argo does have the little advantage with the robo that he has right now. And the fact that Trap doesn't have any tech except the Twilight Council, which he didn't use it at all. No blink, no charge.
I think he realized what was going on, and he just tried to push out as many units as possible.
So now in the Tech Wars, this does leave Trap a little bit behind, but he's going to go for a Stargate behind this.
Interesting.
Did he actually cancel the Twilight Council?
You know what?
I think
he
so.
did.
Yeah.
He had.
Because you were talking about it, and then we saw a glimpse of it, but we just didn't exactly see it finish.
Yeah, you're right. I just assumed it finished there, but looks like it was canceled out of panic from Trap.
That's what happens if we don't have the observing function to ourselves.
Yep. All right, we have an Immortal in this army now here, so the Stalker count is not going to be as useful, but there are still a good amount of Zealots here. Trap, I don't think he should commit to this attack here. That's a lot of units from Argo, and now he's going to be able to chase his opponent away and to get a few kills here. Oh, nice position there, using the shrubbery there to get you know, a few good shots off here. The Immortal, though, it can start focus firing down on those Stalkers. Argo, he has a slight supply advantage right now over his opponent, and he can chase him off.
Yeah, well, both players have been doing a nice job trying to get the probe count up, but look at this, trying to cut some units off guard as Argo warps in more Stalkers at the natural, just keeping on the pressure.
Yep. And Trap, he does have Mothership Core. I don't know if it has energy, though, for the Nexus Cannon. It's still, no, it doesn't have enough energy yet.
Yeah.
Argo going to snipe off that pylon there. It's nice. It's going to help prevent some reinforcements from coming. There is one sentry here for a decent force field. Argo reinforcing with more Zealots here. This could be the tipping point.
He needs to pull the probes right now, because if not, then he's going to lose the game. He needs the probes to surround these Stalkers completely and use his own Stalkers to snipe the Immortal. Void Ray also coming into this party, and he's going to defend the attack, but he just lost a lot of probes.
Argo, he has okay, he had a unit advantage for a little bit there, but I feel like he kind of threw that away. He was focusing more on hurting his opponent's economy. The supplies are still in the advantage of our Kesper player. He's not building any more Immortals. Is he just going to reinforce with more Stalkers, or you know, he's got a few choices here. He should commit the one thing though.
Yeah, well, he's going to go for the blink first at this rate, and then he's going to tech into Templars.
Yeah.
And given the fact that he just killed a lot of probes over there, all he needs to do is make sure the Void Ray count does not get too high.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he knows that he's completely ahead in the economy wars. Look at the probe count, 44 to 33. Yeah. So Argo is sitting comfortably right now, and it's pretty much his game to win as long as he makes sure that there aren't too many Void Rays out
Look
on
at
the field.
this. We have an Oracle on the way for Trap. It looks like he wants to do some economic damage.
Yeah.
Try to get back into the game. And you know what? He's behind. He needs to take a risk like this to, you know, make something happen.
Well, hold on. I don't think Argo is going to wait any longer because he's adding 4 gateways.
Ooh. Okay, so it looks like he wants to get mad aggressive here. He wants to go for a 2-base all-in at this point, I think.
It seems like it's up to 6 gate. Is that 7 gateways or 6?
I believe that's 7. He's got 4 in production. He had 3 before.
We do have a Forge behind us also, and it seems like Argo exactly knows what's happening over there. The Oracle is going to go inside the main base only to get sniped by the Stalkers.
Yep. So the Stalkers are going to be prepared here. No damage from the Oracle. That's so cool, man. When you have pro gamers, they're so good, they can get an uneasy feeling like, what's going on here? I think he may try to do some Oracle harassment, and Argo's just got the units there ready. It's like when they spot proxies around the map in crazy locations you wouldn't expect.
Well, also really nice micro by Trap. The Oracle is low on HP, but does get up to 2 kills inside the main base against 3 Stalkers.
Yeah. So not really much. It hasn't been worth it so far. Maybe that Oracle will come back later and do some more damage. Remains to be seen.
Yeah, that's what you need to do with the Oracle. Either you use it for a revelation throughout the whole game, or just use it at an offbeat timing and kill a lot of probes, just like this. 3 kills, 4 kills this time around, and the Oracle still not sniped. Oh, actually only 3 kills this time around for a total of 5 probe kills.
We see Argo going into the Templar Archive tech. His Blink's going to complete really soon here, and I love the base layout here at the Natural for Trap. Look at those pylons, man. That's going to be a lot of potential unit blocking there.
Yeah, especially against the charge logs.
Oh,
that one Void Ray out of position.
Sick snipe by Argo there.
Yeah, and I guess Trap was focusing on using the hallucinated Phoenix and the Oracle at the same time because there was no reaction from Trap whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't think he was really expecting Stalkers at his front door there as well. And ooh, Argo going for some Storm right now. He's trying to do some Blink harassment here, and not going to work out. He does a little bit of hull damage, but nothing more. And we have the +1 attack upgrade about to complete here as well for Argo.
I like this. Trap behind us, he's going for Colossus base army. So he's getting Immortal Stalkers out with some Void Rays mixed in. But now he's completely faking out his opponent by going for pure Colossus. He sees that Argo is taking a 3rd base, which means that Trap should take a 3rd base pretty soon while splitting up his army at 2 locations to make sure the Blink Stalkers do not do maximum amount of damage at the 3rd base and the Natural at the same time. But the Colossus is really smart.
Yeah.
It's going to catch Argo off guard. Now, the problem with this tech switch is that Argo can hit a strong timing before Trap can finish teching into Colossus.
That's, I think, going to be the biggest challenge of this tech path choice for Trap. Well, and another thing you can add on to that is if you go for the Templar tech, you can take that 3rd a little bit faster than your opponent because you simply have more units that are cheaper. You can reinforce faster as well. And it looks like that Oracle was taken out finally. It did do a good amount of damage, though. Killed up to 9 workers, so it was pretty much worth it over the long period of time.
So Argo right now has a really nice army, and he's going to slowly push out the charge. I'm not too sure how...
It's about halfway done.
Halfway done, okay. So there will be about maybe 2 Colossus out, but look at this. Beast style using the Mothership Core and the Void Rays to harass their opponent and just recall out at the last second. He could go for the charge right now, actually.
Yeah, I think he could go either for the charge or the Forge. He may go for just the straight up the Nexus. And holy crap, that building is falling down fast. Argo, is he going to even try to defend that?
Well, he's moving out on the map, which means that Trap, he needs to pull back as soon as possible. There are 4 Stalkers, but those are nothing against the 4 Void Rays. In fact, Trap, if he actually micros, he can fight that right now.
Yeah, he can. He has delayed the 3rd base of his opponent.
And he recalled at the last second, knowing that he was in a little bit of trouble, and this allows Trap enough time to get a lot of Colossus out.
So smart. If you go for the Colossus tech and you're fighting against the Templar base tech, you just Sim City your base well and you can defend against it. But in the open ground, it's very hard to defeat.
Yeah, well, look at this. That's a really small choke over there. The Nexus Cannon going down. Colossus coming out once again, and the Zealots need to run away. His army composition is not fit. It does not fit against the Colossus-based army of Trap.
Yeah.
The only thing that's going for Argo right now is that he has 3 base economy, and it's hard for Trap to push out in that position.
I would love to see 2 Stargates go down for Argo right now. I think that'd be an excellent choice here. Start pumping out the Phoenix or Void Rays, maybe even get some Tempest as well.
Yes. Killing his own gateway to make sure there's enough room for the units to push out. But you know, Argo, he could try to transition into different army count, but this is a really strong-looking army by Trap. In fact, now it's Trap who's trying to push out a little bit. One Colossus out of position and gonna get sniped.
The Colossus goes down. Storm is shown as well, and that Storm not really doing too much on either side there.
Killing his own unit.
Yeah. Argo adding on 4 gateways here. He hasn't remade the Nexus in his main base, and over time, the army composition for Trap is just going to get better and better.
Yes, I mean, that's a lot of units right now, and if you look at the supply count, 165 to 146, but Trap has the expensive units out.
Yeah,
I mean, if you look at the AoE damage units, there's only 1 Archon and a couple of Storms, which is not useful against the Colossus.
Those Colossus, they need to be careful.
Yeah, well, Trap still needs to be careful because if the Gateway armies just melt to Archons and the charge loss of his opponent, then the Colossus will get picked off for free.
Ooh, look at this. Dark Shrine on the way for Trap right now. He's getting a War Prism as well. He's about to grab another Colossus. The +3 attack already on the way for Argo, so he's going to have a pretty solid upgrade advantage over his opponent. He's also keeping his opponent Trap on 2 bases throughout this entire time. That's a huge, huge...
This is a really tricky situation for Trap to be in. He could push out and win the game right now. But the problem is it's kind of hard for him to push out. He wants to take a 3rd base, except his opponent is not allowing him to do so. And look at this, like you said, Argo going for a double Stargate at his main base.
Yeah. Good decision there. I kind of wish that Argo would just take that main Nexus in his base. It's looking pretty annoying. Uh-oh, the Warp Prism, that's going to get sniped off very easily here.
But remember, this allows Trap to push out.
Oh, those Immortals going to get absolutely shredded here. Forward blink goes down. I think this is going to be the engagement here. We have Solid Storms hitting that entire Protoss army, and nice job. Argo's baited his opponent out into the open. Will he be able to kill off this army, though? The Storms have forced the army of Trap away, and things are looking really good now for Argo.
Dark Templar is coming into the mix, but the Colossus are going down 1 by 1. There is no Observer in this army, but it doesn't matter if the Colossus get taken out.
The main bulk of his army falls, and GG is called. Argo taking a game off of Trap, evening out the score to 1-1.
The unit composition wasn't that great for Argo, but the key point is that he kept his base, opponent's base down to 2, which means that Trap, he really trapped himself in that point, and he really wanted to push out and take a 3rd base during the part in the game, except Argo just didn't allow it, so it forced Trap to go for a counterattack, counter all-in. From 2 bases.
I want to point out that Argo, he went for, he attacked from 2 different locations.
Yes.
He kind of sandwiched his opponent, and that's exactly how you beat that unit composition with the composition that Argo had. So he used the Storms, he was able to flank from 2 sides. Everything worked out perfectly in that engagement.
And also remember, because of the 3 base economy, Trap couldn't have any reinforcements. From 2 bases, Argo, he was spamming Zealots left and right as soon as the first engagement happened.
That's true. All right, we're going to have to find out the next player that will be sent out from STX Seoul. The map is going to be Aqualon Waste, so there's actually a good chance it's going to be another Protoss.
Yeah, well, we can see any race being sent out on this map from STX Seoul. Haiba has been doing well recently. We could see Deer or a Mini come out on this map. We might even see the finalist Innovation come out.
Yeah, we're going to find out in a second here. My money is on Deer, though. I think they're going to send out Deer next. We'll see if I'm right or not.
Yeah, well, let's go back to STX Seoul's bench. We have Innovation sitting on one end. Seems like that's Mini at the other end. And who's it going to be?
And looking here, waiting. Who's it going to be? And
it's going to be Deer.
All right, 1 for 1, man.
1 for 1.
All right, so Deer will be playing against Argo on the 3rd set. Aqualon Wastes. Any thoughts about this matchup here?
What was the PvP?
Well said. All right, guys, the score currently 1-1 between STX Seoul and Kespa Teammate. We have to go into a quick commercial break. When we get back, 3rd set, don't go anywhere. This is the SK Planet Pro League.